A developer with 8 months of coding experience closed a $4,000 contract last quarter, and the client never found out that half the code base was written by an AI agent while he slept. That's not a trick. That's the actual shift happening in freelance development right now, and almost nobody outside the industry has noticed it yet. It works because a coding agent doesn't just auto-complete lines anymore. It reads an entire repository, plans a multi-file change, writes it, tests it, and fixes its own errors, which means one person can now credibly take on work that used to require a small team. The skill that used to gate this market, writing clean code fast, matters less than the skill that gates it now, which is knowing what to ask for and how to verify what you get back. That second skill is learnable in a weekend, and this video is that weekend compressed. Before we go further, like this video so it reaches more people who need it, drop a comment with which method you're going to try first, and subscribe, because 2 of the methods coming up are ones I haven't seen a single other channel cover yet. I only share methods that I've tested myself, so if something here didn't work in practice, I'm telling you that too, not hiding it. Stick with the order. Each method builds on something from the one before it, and skipping ahead will cost you the context you need for the strongest ones near the end. Method 1 is fixing broken code on freelance platforms instead of writing new code from scratch. This is the fastest entry point because demand for debugging is constant, and the barrier most beginners imagine, needing deep expertise in every language, isn't real anymore. Paste the error, the relevant file, and the expected behavior into a coding agent, let it trace the bug across files and propose a fix, then verify the fix actually runs before you touch the client's project. Price these as flat-rate fixes, $40 to $120 depending on complexity, not hourly, because hourly pricing punishes you for being fast, and fast is now your entire advantage. Method 2 is building small Chrome extensions and selling them directly without ever touching a marketplace listing that buries you next to 1,000 competitors. Pick a specific, annoying workflow problem, exporting a specific site's data into a spreadsheet, autofilling a repetitive form, blocking a specific kind of distraction, and describe the exact behavior to a coding agent in plain language. It scaffolds the extension, writes the manifest, and handles the boilerplate that used to take a beginner a full week to learn. Sell it directly through a landing page and a demo video rather than the Chrome store's crowded listings. Price it as a $5 to $15 one-time purchase and target the specific community, a subreddit, a niche forum, where that exact workflow problem gets complained about weekly. Method 3 is building internal tools for small businesses that are currently held together with spreadsheets and manual copy-pasting. A real estate office manually cross-referencing listings against a lead spreadsheet every morning, a small logistics company manually checking delivery statuses across 3 different systems. You interview the owner for 20 minutes about the exact repetitive task, describe that workflow to a coding agent as a small internal application, and it builds a working tool against their existing spreadsheet or database structure. Charge a project fee between $500 and $1,500, and this is where the money genuinely compounds, because the same business almost always comes back for a second tool once the first one saves them real hours. Here's the mistake that ends most people's coding agent freelancing before it starts, and it's not a technical mistake. It's shipping code you didn't actually read. A coding agent will confidently write a function that works in the demo and silently fails on an edge case the client hits on day 3, a currency field that breaks on decimals, a date function that breaks across time zones. Clients don't forgive that the way they'd forgive a human's honest mistake because they assumed they were paying for judgment, not just typing speed. The fix is a 15-minute review task before every delivery. Run the actual edge cases, not just the happy path, and read the diff line by line at least once, because that 15 minutes is what separates a freelancer who gets rehired from one who gets a single-star review and no explanation why.
Method 4 is technical debt cleanup for small existing code bases, which pays significantly better than new feature work because almost nobody wants to do it, and clients know that. A small startup with 18 months of rushed code and no time to fix it. Feed the agent the repository, ask it to identify the riskiest patterns, duplicated logic, missing error handling, functions doing 3 jobs at once, and have it refactor in small, reviewable chunks rather than one giant rewrite that's impossible to verify. This is where the review habit from the mistake above matters most, since refactors touch working code, and one unverified change here can break something the client depends on daily. Rate this as a specialized service, not general coding. $150 to $250 an hour is normal because you're being paid for risk reduction, not lines of code. Method 5 is building and flipping small functional web tools, calculators, converters, generators that solve one specific problem and rank in search results. A tax bracket calculator for a specific country's new tax rules, a word count to reading time converter tuned to a specific platform's requirements. These take a single day to build with a coding agent handling the logic and interface, and the value isn't the tool itself, it's the search traffic it accumulates over a few months. Once it's pulling consistent monthly visitors, list it on a small tools marketplace or sell it directly to someone who wants the traffic. These typically go for 10 to 30 times the tool's monthly ad revenue, and buyers actively hunt for exactly this kind of small, proven asset. Method 6 is API integration work for businesses trying to connect two systems that were never designed to talk to each other. A retail shop wanting their inventory system to automatically update their online store. A coach wanting their booking calendar to automatically message clients through a texting service. This used to require a developer who specialized in exactly that combination of tools, which made it expensive and slow to find. Now, you describe the two systems and the desired connection to a coding agent. It handles the authentication and data mapping most beginners find intimidating, and you're left mainly verifying the connection holds under real data instead of building it from zero. This work pays well specifically because it's still perceived as specialized, even though the actual difficulty has dropped. Charge accordingly while that perception gap still exists. Method 7 is the one almost nobody's doing yet, and it's building and selling automated code review bots for small development teams. Small teams without a senior engineer to catch problems before code ships. You build a lightweight tool that runs a coding agent against every new code submission, checking for the same categories of mistakes covered earlier: unhandled edge cases, security gaps, inconsistent patterns, and reports back before a human ever has to look. This sells as a monthly subscription, typically $40 to $100 per team depending on size, and it's a rare case where you're not selling your own time at all. You're selling a system that keeps working after you've moved on to the next client. Method 8 is technical consulting for non-technical founders who want to know if their idea is actually buildable and roughly what it should cost. This pays the best per hour of anything on this list because you're not selling code, you're selling the judgment to prevent someone from spending $40,000 building the wrong thing. Use a coding agent to rapidly prototype the riskiest part of their idea first, the part most likely to be technically impossible or absurdly expensive, instead of the easy parts they're already confident about. Show them that working prototype in the same call, charge $200 to $400 for the session, and let that prototype double as your case study for the next founder. Now, here's what actually fixes low retention and low income at the same time, and it's the same fix. Stop treating these as separate gigs you rotate between. The internal tools from Method 3 become case studies that make the technical consulting from Method 8 an easy sell. The code review bot from Method 7 becomes something you quietly offer to every team you meet through the debt cleanup work in Method 4, and the small web tools from Method 5 become free traffic proof of skill that makes cold outreach for any other method here land differently, because you're not pitching, you're showing. One coding agent, 4 connected offers, each one making the next one easier to sell, is worth more than 8 beginners running 8 disconnected side hustles. I test new AI deals every week. If a new free method comes out, you'll see it here first. Next video, I'm walking through the exact interview questions I use with a business owner in Method 3, word for word, because that 20-minute conversation is the actual hardest part of this whole list, and getting it wrong is why most people's first internal tool pitch goes nowhere.